Meow, meow, meow. Boing. So I am going to do 5 sets of kitty paws here. So starting with the first, I'm just kind of quickly getting some loose lines in. Not worrying about exactness. I just want that spontaneous look. Just the bigger picture. Not worrying about little details here, but I want the shape to be accurate. And when I put these toe lines in, I don't necessarily go by exactly what I see in the photo. I go by what the drawing needs, and I go by the shape of the paw. And as I draw the toe lines, I'm helping to shape the paw too. Notice that the lines go around the shape of the paw like it's a ball of some sorts. They go around the contour of it. And I'm not worrying about overlap here as I put the next one in. Because if I worry about overlap, I interrupt the flow of that energy of the drawing. So I'll just let it overlap, and if I need to, I'll get rid of some lines later. I kind of like my shapes here. Quick and spontaneous. You see, I really get that looseness in at first, and then I start to define a bit and pick out where I want the lines to go. This is a pretty standard pose here. The poses will get a little more what most people, especially most beginners, would consider difficult as we go along. So I'm starting with a pretty basic pose, a pretty simple one. Again, I'm going around the contour, the curve of the paws. And not overdoing it because I just want a suggestion. And when you're looking at a cat in real life, you're not focusing on those little paw lines. We just want the idea of them. If we overdo it, the eye doesn't really know where to look. And getting rid of some extra lines, also lightening it up. And now on to the next pose, and I really like this cute little crisscross pose. Kitty's paws are crossed. Again, just getting that general shape in first. And I hope you like to listen to me talk you through this, but it's also a good idea later to watch it again without the sound turned on. And just watch me draw. It's kind of getting that shape. And you'll notice it's not exactly like the photo too. I actually have our right hand paw, the cat's left hand paw, I guess, coming down a bit lower than the other one, but I felt that added a bit more interest. I mean, cats are such flexible creatures, and you know, if your pose doesn't end up exactly the same as the one that you see in the photo, that's okay, because they can get into different shapes and situations. Kind of felt like that upper claw there was, or upper paw was a little bit too obvious and stuck out too much, so I'm kind of making it a little less subtle. Again, I'm forming the contour, the shape of that paw, the roundness of it as I draw in the toe lines. Yeah, I kind of felt like that was too much there because we don't really see that. And I felt like this was too stark of an angle here too. So I can kind of correct it by getting a bit of those toe beans in. I love the toe beans, and even if the toe beans don't show a whole lot, I like to exaggerate them because they're such a charming part of the cat. In fact, drawing paws is one of my favorite parts of drawing cats. I prefer to draw cat portraits that show the paws. Especially the toe beans. And I love to hear about where you're from and what your cat's name is too, and also what you want to learn about cat drawing. Please put it in the comments, and you never know, I might do a video on your suggestion. I love to hear from people. And you can also join our Facebook community, Cat Drawing and Watercolor Art Workshop on Facebook. It's a group, and the link is in the comments or in the description. And you'll find some other links there too. Just some gentle shaping here again and adding a bit of toe beans. You can actually see a lot of lineage in the paws and the toe beans, but you got to be really careful how much you put in because you don't want to overdo it. It's not about making it look exact, it's about capturing the feeling of that cat's paw, the idea of it. Less is more, it really is. And the best drawings look drawn. They have that lovely human character, the authenticity of a real drawing. A bit of the artist's heart and soul. And their love for cats. I don't come short on that one, that's for sure. I've loved cats all my life. And here's the next one. So some fun with toe beans here. Just getting that rough shape in. And of course, these are just simple, quick gesture drawings. And they are really, really, really good practice for when you do your cat portrait. But they have their own charm, and they're a beautiful part of your sketchbook. So don't undervalue them. They show a beautiful part of your artistic journey and your love for cats. This is how I do that pad, the main pad there. And I do things different every time because I'm always learning new tips and tricks. New tricks, I guess. I turn them into tips for you. And as always, take what I show you and make it your own. Take what works for you and make it your own. Maybe not everything I'm showing you at this time is going to work for you, but something maybe will. Take it and make it your own. The other might come back to you later and you might say, hey, now's the time to try it. And there is no right or wrong way to do it. You have to find your own way. That's why we call it art. I try to pump some character in when I'm putting my lines in, and not just straight lines, and also maybe not exactly the lines we see, but maybe an exaggeration of it for a bit of character. Use your artistic license. Just erasing, making it a little lighter, and then going back in to kind of just draw back in what I want to stand out and kind of let some of the other fade away, just to make the drawing more interesting. And I'm putting in some edges on those toe beans, some sharp edges, I guess, and then just other softer edges to suggest the fur coming around them. And I find these little lines are so charming too, that separate the toes. There's a bit of a funny line there, so I corrected it a bit. Just a bit of shading, just to help the toe beans stand out a little. And I'm going to add in that other paw, the sideways one. And for a sketch that I was going to carry further, I would really lighten up the lines and then I'd go back in with my pen. And if you've watched me before, you know I love dipping pens, the old-fashioned ones. I just find I get so much character in the lines. Suggestion of a toe bean there. Lighten it up. Bit of suggestion of fur underneath. And on to the next. And this one's similar, but it's at a bit of a different perspective. And it's more practice too. I kind of found the spot for where that main pad, I guess it's the sole of the foot rather than the toes, kind of used a different way of getting in where I want it to be. Sorry my thumb is in the way there. I got to get better at making sure that doesn't happen. I'm learning. Each time I make a video, I learn something new. Get those general shapes in, and then I'll do a bit of erasing to get rid of the extra lines. I'm just kind of mapping out where those toe beans need to be. This one is going to be more of just a suggestion because it's, it's kind of underneath and it's the way the paw is facing us. That part is a little bit farther away. It's turning under. little bit of suggestion of the hair coming around the toe beans there. Not all around the toe, because just for variation, you know, just in spots. And then I'm lightening it up. Thought I'd give it another try because I didn't really like the way it worked out the first time. Did you hear my kitty meow just now? Her name's Shanty. Listen, maybe she'll meow again. Problem is too, this microphone actually fades out background noise, so maybe you probably can't hear her. She's meowing now. I'm going to put the microphone up to her and see if you can hear her. Nope, she's not going to do it for you. Maybe next time. If you've watched some of my earlier videos, you would have seen the ones I did of Shanty, my special needs rescue kitty. They're still on there. You can still watch them. Just get a hint of claws here, because I thought it would be good to do you some that actually showed claws. I plan to, I mean, I don't make promises, but I plan next time to do some paws with claws, more focusing on the claws, because you can get so much character out of those ones too. But we're doing a bit of a suggestion of claws here on this one. Okay, I'm going to put the other one in, but it's not in the same spot as it is in the photograph, and that's mostly just because I didn't really have room. So I thought I would do it for you anyways, because it's just all practice anyways, isn't it? So getting that general shape of that paw, and again, there's my thumb in the way. I got to work on that. I like that. And again, some claws. When my big fat thumb gets out of the way, you'll get to see them better. Just a suggestion. That's a really hard thing as a beginning artist, is to be able to know how much is too much. And it only comes with practice, practice, practice. You really have to think about what lines are important and which ones you can leave out. Otherwise, you just end up with a really, really busy drawing, and the viewer's eye has no idea where to look. We as artists, it's our job to help the person focus by only giving them what they need, so they can focus on what the drawing really is about. And even if you're the only viewer, then that's important too. I hope that you do share your art, even if you're not ready to now. I hope you do at some point. And I would love to see your art, your cat art in our cat drawing and watercolor art workshop on Facebook. Okay, next one, last one. And this is a loaf cat position, showing those lovely paws on that loafing cat. And you notice I just let it crisscross, and I'll deal with that as I go. There we go. A bit of a dark line down there. Sometimes my problem is my hands are a little shaky. But, you know, sometimes that puts extra character into it too. And it's certainly, if you have shaky hands, it's no reason to not draw. It's starting to look like a cat paw. Those toe lines are helping shape the roundness of the paw. Don't know if I like that one so much so far, but we'll get it. Maybe a bit too dark. Yeah, it was that line up there I wasn't real happy about. And I started to kind of start again. I think again I had forgotten that I need to not go so much by what I see but by what the drawing needs, and then I remembered, and now that's what I'm doing. And I'm putting a suggestion of toe beans in there because you can't see much of them, but I still, as I said before, I like to exaggerate them. Just a suggestion of the lines going away down the leg, just so we don't just have discombobulated paws just floating around with not being attached to anything. I love those little suggestions of toe beans. And there are all the paws together. So it's a fun page of kitty paws. And always sign your work, even if it's just a simple gesture sketch in your sketchbook. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Meow.